Social Zoom Factor, episode 196.
Driving results in business these days takes something special. It's a combination of the right info and the right energy. Pam Moore has both and is here to help you avoid the pitfalls and guide your business and life by leveraging and integrating social media, powerful branding, and digital marketing. Welcome to Social Zoom Factor. Now it's time to live life zoomed.
Are you ready to take your new idea to fruition? One of the first things you need to do is get your business online. Our partner HostGator can take you from zero to turbo fast. Download their Get Online the Easy Way ebook and receive a coupon code for 30% off any new hosting package. Simply visit socialzoomfactor.com/HostGatorEasy or simply text HostGator to 33444. The Marketing Nuts Agency helps companies transform their social and digital business from the inside out. Visit their website at www.themarketingnutswithaz.com for a client list, case studies, and some amazing free resources to get you started down the path of success. Hey there, Zoomers, and welcome to Social Zoom Factor. This is your host, Pam Moore. All right, today we are talking about Twitter, and we are talking specifically about the pinned tweet feature on Twitter. And this is one of the top questions I get from many people in the industry, colleagues, clients, team members, you name it. So I figured that I would just put a podcast together talking about 10 easy ways that you can tap into the power of Twitter and a feature that they call the pinned tweet, and that's PINNED. And so we are going to talk about today 10 ways that you can leverage the pinned tweet feature to build relationships, to establish trust, to establish thought leadership for your brand and your business, and to share knowledge and information to help your audience, to help your potential customers that are sitting out there utilizing Twitter and want to learn from you. We're going to teach you how you can learn to do some brand storytelling. And I need to tell you that everything we're talking about here today, I have podcasts on all of these topics. So if you are new to Twitter and you want to learn more about Twitter, I encourage you to check out all of our other podcasts. So I have Twitter in a nutshell. I have hashtags in a nutshell. I have Twitter for business, brand storytelling, personal branding, and the list goes on and on. So make sure that you subscribe to this entire series wherever you're listening to it, and maybe that's on iTunes or Stitcher Radio or SoundCloud, as well as you can access all of the podcasts at socialzoomfactor.com is where we store all of those, or even on my personal blog at pammarketingnut.com. And I will make sure that I include links to some of the best resources on these topics at the show notes page, which is the summary blog post for this episode. I will put links there to all the good stuff. Just go to socialzoomfactor.com/196 because this is episode 196. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. First thing is I want to explain to you what is the pinned tweet. So it's similar to how Facebook does the pinned Facebook post as well. But the pinned tweet basically enables you to take any tweet that you have sent and you can select to pin it to your Twitter profile. Now, when you pin that tweet to your Twitter profile, it is the first tweet that is seen anytime somebody visits your Twitter profile on native Twitter. All right. So if they go and they visit your Twitter profile and they are interested in learning more about you and your life and your brand and you personally, that's the first tweet they're going to see. Okay. So it's a great opportunity for you to leverage that space. It's going to stay there at the top of your Twitter profile. And I want you to really think about this because there are so many different ways that you can utilize that great value of real estate on your Twitter profile. It's that first impression. It's how you say hello to people. You're saying, hello, welcome to my Twitter profile. Welcome to me and my brand. Let me tell you how I can help you. Let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I can do for you. Let me give you a call to action. So we're going to talk about some ideas today about how you can leverage this pinned tweet to establish relationships, to establish thought leadership. And I want to make sure that you're thinking smart, that you're not just thinking about spam. I want you to be thinking, how can you build your brand in a positive way? This isn't about spamming as many links as you can or just increasing your blog traffic as your only goal and objective. Because remember, blog traffic is visitors. They are people that are tourists coming to your site. You want to make sure you're qualifying people and getting them to your site for the right reasons. So let's talk about some ways specifically that we can do this and why might we want to use the Twitter pinned tweet. Number one is obvious, okay? And that would be to increase sales. That would be to actually achieve a conversion of some sort. So that could vary from selling a product, selling a service, an email opt-in, something that is going to convert that customer into some type of closure where you're getting input from them, you're getting action from them, you are getting information from them. Maybe it's a special promotion that you're having. Maybe it's a fire sale that you're doing or a campaign that you're launching. You absolutely can use the pinned tweet for that type of purpose to drive sales. But I want you to make sure that you're listening to the rest of this podcast and you're thinking about other ways to leverage the pinned tweet as well, because that is one of the most obvious ways and reasons you may want to use the pinned tweet. But I want you to think bigger. I want you to think about growing your brand, positioning yourself, establishing authority. And we talked about this in episode 195, where we talked about 8 top ways that you can build your brand in 2016 by leveraging social media and digital marketing. So I encourage you to check out that episode if you haven't done that already. So tip number 2 is use the pinned tweet for a specific call to action. Okay. And a call to action means you are asking that person looking at that pinned tweet to do something. People love to be told what to do. So an call to action means you're asking them to download something. Maybe you want to have them opt into your email list, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You're wanting them to watch a video. You're wanting them to listen to something, to read something. Maybe you're wanting to announce something. You are wanting them to take a call to action. There is something that they need to do, right? They need to come closer to your brand to do this, right? And that's why we like call to action, because it inspires the audience with value to come closer to our brand, right? Brand equity, one of the factors that will increase brand equity for your brand is when the person on the other end of your brand takes an action and they invest themselves, they invest their time. That is how you can start to increase that brand equity for your business. The third way that you can use the pinned tweet is to grow your email list. And this is an excellent use case for the pinned tweet, okay? So to grow your email list, you could utilize the pinned tweet to post a link and an image to download a white paper. Maybe you have special templates for your business and your industry. You could provide your audience and your followers with a template that's going to help them do something better for their business, for their life. It could be a worksheet of some sort. The key here is that it is something of value. So it is something that is going to provide that person value, something that you are investing yourself. You are providing content that is relevant, contextual, and offers something of unique value that not every other business in your agency is doing. And then that person who sees that value trusts you and wants to give you their email address in return for you providing them that piece of value. Okay, so the pinned tweet is an excellent way to grow your email list. And we have grown our email list 400% over the past 2 years. All right, and I've done a couple podcast episodes. We now have a list over 50,000 people on our email list that we communicate with on a regular basis and provide them value. We've done a lot of that through different platforms that we have integrated into our owned platforms, such as our blog and our website, but we've also done that through the social networks such as Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter are the primary ones that we use because we are in the B2B space and we help our clients, obviously, who are in the business to consumer space, but we are selling to other businesses. So those are the platforms that we use. And Twitter is an amazing platform for you to leverage to grow your email list. And the pinned tweet just makes it even easier to do that. Okay. Fourth way that you can use the pinned tweet is to establish and grow your video platform. So you can obtain views and engagement for video on Twitter. So let's say you post a video on YouTube. You can share that link on Twitter and it will show natively on your Twitter profile and it will show that video. So when people go and they look at your photos and your videos, it will show up as a permanent part of your Twitter profile. So that happens even without you utilizing the pinned tweet. Now, the pinned tweet just makes it even easier because now it's also at the top of your profile. And you can see, I encourage you to go check out some of our Twitter profiles to see what we're doing with the pinned tweet. We do a lot with video and podcasting, that type of thing. And over the holidays, we just published a new video that gives you an overview of our year 2015. So we shared tons of images in that video and experiences that we had with different brands and events and our customers. And so I will off and on over the next few months pin that video to my profile. Why? Because that is telling a brand story that's engaging and inspiring people to come closer to our business and our brand. And I can tell you, we definitely have gotten new customers from that specific type of video. We have done those in the past. And I love doing brand storytelling with video, and it helps people understand who and what you are about. The fifth way to use the pinned tweet would be for live streaming. So let's say you're into Periscope or you're into Blab or Meerkat, whatever it may be. The pinned tweet is a great way for you to increase replays of that content, because if you're familiar with Periscope, for example, you know that content only lives natively on Periscope for 24 hours. So you want to be able to get as many views as you can on Periscope during that time when that's live. So you can pin that tweet, and while that event is going on or you have behind the scenes type of content happening, you can make sure you get maximum reach and value that you are investing in that live event and that live streaming. All right, so great use of the pinned tweet. So I know we're getting deep into some content here. We still have 5 tips, 5 ways that you can leverage the Twitter pinned tweet to grow your business, build your brand, establish trust and thought leadership. But before I dig into the last 5, please give a listen to our sponsors because they are what keeps us zooming. I'll be right back. The new year brings a time for evaluation, reflection, and planning. As an entrepreneur, you know your product, your target market, and how you are going to differentiate from competition to achieve success. One thing that often gets forgotten, though, is the online foundation. Do you have the right digital foundation to build a structurally sound business, or are you building on sand and hoping it will hold? Successful businesses are built on steady ground. You need a blueprint for success, curb appeal, and security. Our partner HostGator can help you do this and more. Download their Business Builder Kit, inclusive of 9 steps for planning your website, 10 mistakes to avoid on your homepage, and 3 easy steps to protect your website from hackers. Simply go to socialzoomfactor.com/HostGatorBiz or text HostGatorBiz to 33444. Again, that is socialzoomfactor.com/HostGatorBiz or text HostGatorBiz to 33444. Do you ever feel stuck in a rut, like your online business and social business isn't all that it could be? The Marketing Nuts Agency helps small businesses clear up to the Fortune 50 brands, provide clarity and vision for current and future programs. The Marketing Nuts believe in ROI-driven decision-making while still inspiring audiences with relevant content. From social business strategy and consultation, influencer marketing, to corporate training and workshops, and fully outsourced digital and social programs. The Marketing Nuts helps you prioritize your investment, impact business goals, and inspire your audience to invest in a relationship with you. To start the conversation, visit www.themarketingnutswithaz.com. I'm back. All right. The 6th way to use the pinned tweet would be for a podcast. So just as you're listening to this podcast, I can take a native link and I can embed that on Twitter. So I can put that into a tweet and onto a pinned tweet, and it will stay at the top of my profile. Now, let me give you a couple of examples here of how this can really increase your downloads, your listens on your podcast. And we talked about how to do that with video, but you can do the same thing with audio. So I can take a link from SoundCloud, for example, and it will actually embed that player straight to Twitter. So people will see the image of that and they'll be able to click on it and they will be able to listen to that directly through Twitter, exactly what they can do through YouTube posted to Twitter. Okay, same type of thing. So with the podcast, I can also include a link to iTunes, to Stitcher Radio. Now, one thing that I like to do with the podcast is at least once a week, I will create a tweet and I will remind people, hey, did you know that I have 196 podcast episodes of the Social Zoom Factor podcast to help you grow your business, your brand, and your life? And then I will post a link to the iTunes subscription. So it goes directly to the iTunes page. If they're on a mobile device, it'll automatically take them to on their cell phone to iTunes, and they can subscribe and or listen to my podcast. And it also will embed that SoundCloud or Stitcher player, depending on which URL I put up there. So I love doing that. And the value with these pinned tweets is that people are retweeting them. They're sharing them. So it's helping them, get shared more broadly, and it's extending your reach of your content, right? It's very, very valuable. It's your content truly working for you. 7th way is through visual images. So it's a great way with the pinned tweet to post a visual image. On there, you could post, a visual image of your team, maybe of your office. We just moved into our new office for our agency, Marketing Nuts. We moved into the first phase of it. We're working on the phase 2 of it right now, which we're moving into next week. Our team is growing very fast. It's going to quadruple here in the next few months. So we are just busting out of the seams in our office. So I've been sharing a lot of behind the scenes images on platforms like Snapchat, and we're starting to leak those out now on Twitter as well. And we have heard great feedback from our audience. They love seeing those images. Actually, they've been asking asking us to create more of them. They're wanting us to do some live streaming. So we'll be doing some of that as well. But also for visual images, you can post events. So where are you going? What are you going to be doing? You can create a visual image to tell stories. So great for brand storytelling. And I've done quite a few podcasts on visual marketing and the power of visual marketing. Our brains process visual images 60,000 times faster than text. So if you are not utilizing visual marketing in your strategies today, you really should be considering it as you're entering 2016. And if you need some help with that, our agency, Marketing Nuts, can absolutely help you. But with visual images, you can include quotes. So you can have a beautiful backdrop, maybe just something simple. Sometimes I will do a quote on top of a cool image that I've taken at the beach, or I will, just brand it with our agency colors, which I do a lot of orange. So I'll put an orange background just with some simple white letters in our logo and post an image. I also do a lot of images that come from our content that we put on our blog and on our podcast. We create custom images that include the title of the podcast and the blog post. So then when that gets posted to Twitter, even directly from our blog, then there is an image that shows up and gets shared. People love to share images. And when you post those as a pinned tweet, it's going to help you bring in people and inspire them to check out your content, to check out your business and your brand, and really help them connect with you in a more human, emotional, personal way. Eighth way that you can leverage the pinned tweet is to share and get awareness about an announcement, or maybe you have a product or service launch coming up. So if there's something you're trying to get attention to and people are going to be interested in it, that is a great thing to post for your pinned tweet. Ninth item would be feedback, such as market research, customer research. Do you have a question that you want to ask people? You can leverage the poll feature, which is asking questions for people to answer you on Twitter. And Twitter has a poll feature where you can say, hey, here's my question. I recently did one on Twitter because there's rumors and, pre-announcement that Twitter is going to be increasing the character count limit of tweets from 140 characters up to potentially 10,000 in an extended tweet type of mode. So I recently put a tweet up polling my audience, asking them what they thought of it, and option A was they thought it was a great idea. B was it was a terrible idea. C was maybe has some potential. And then D was not sure. And it was amazing. Everybody thought it was a terrible idea. Within a few hours, I had over 100 people respond. So I have used that poll feature quite a few times for research. It's a great way to learn about your audience. If you've listened to any of my podcasts, I preach and teach on this topic a ton. And so if you're not familiar with this, I encourage you to go check it out. Go download our audience analysis worksheet. Go to socialzoomfactor.com/audience, and it will help you prioritize your audiences and also give you some other resources so you can make sure you know the most about your audience that you possibly can. But Twitter is a great way for you to learn about your audience. And if you are in a big phase right now of marketing strategy and planning development, and you don't know your customer, but you have any type of a following on Twitter, you really should tap into the power of Twitter for market research. And I just did a podcast not too long ago on utilizing social media for market research. So I really encourage you to check that out too. And number 10, last but not least, I put this one last for a reason, but this is tooting your own horn. All right. So this is some good PR marketing. If you just have some good news that you want to share, maybe you've won some awards, your business has achieved a certain milestone, you are working with a certain client that you want to announce to the world, you have a huge announcement, which we talked about earlier, or you are on some fancy, Forbes list or Fortune 100 list. use a pinned tweet. All right, go ahead, brag about yourself once in a while, but I really encourage you not to always leave a pinned tweet up there that's just bragging about yourself. Because remember what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast? We want to make sure we're leveraging social media, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and pinned tweets to build relationships, establish trust, build that leadership, and make sure we're telling brand stories that are connecting us with our audience by providing them valuable information and knowledge that are going to help them solve problems, right? It's not that difficult. We don't have to make any of this more difficult than it needs to be. To me, a lot of it is just human connection 101. It's marketing 101. We need to think like humans and we need to treat our audience like humans. Okay. So there you have it. 10 ways that you can build your brand and your business by leveraging the Twitter pinned tweet feature. And make sure that you're thinking about the time of day and the day of the week that you're pinning information. And this is why I always talk about knowing your audience, because quotes, different types of information are going to work differently with different audiences at different times of the week and different times of the day. So when you are going to want to have a hardcore call to action for your audience, make sure that's the time of day, time of week that they're going to be interested in that. For me, I know the days of the week that my audience is downloading certain types of information. I know the days of the week that they are interested in watching video. I know the days of the week that they are listening to podcasts, which is every day. And I know what days I need to post quotes and times of day, whether that's weekend. The content I'm going to pin to my profile on a Monday morning is very different than the content I'm going to have pinned there on a Saturday afternoon. So I encourage you to think out of the box. This is both art and science. And I hope I have inspired you to take this to the next level on your Twitter profile and really tap into the power of the pinned tweet. So thank you so much for listening today. I know your time is so valuable and limited, and I appreciate you hanging out here with me on the Social Zoom Factor podcast. That's a wrap.
If you're ready to zoom your business and zoom your life, then don't let the end of this episode be the end of your journey. Visit socialzoomfactor.com/zoom for incredible free resources and guides. And be sure to join the Social Zoom Factor mailing list so you never miss an episode. We'll see you next time on Social Zoom Factor.